You can put them on the top and the bottom of the door. It makes it nearly impossible to kick the doors.
You guys are ready? We are going to get started right here, right now. First of all, I want to welcome all of you. Just to make sure you're in the right place, this is our March Lunch and Learn with the Wylie Chamber of Commerce. Okay, good. Everybody's in the right spot. This is our second in a three-part series on social media. And today we have some social media experts here to go second level, basically, to a little bit more from what they gave in social media one-on-one. And we are joined, I'm going to read a little about these guys and they're going to start talking. And so the first speaker today will be Mr. Greg Scott, 6 years in communication marketing department at Frito-Lay headquarters, managing websites, social media accounts. In 2016, Greg ventured out on his own to start Greg Scott's sites. He took what he learned from those corporate teams and marketing agencies to provide better services for small businesses in the Wylie, Saxe, Murphy area. Plus, he never had to drive to the Dallas North Tollway again. While starting out mainly building websites, he saw a huge, he actually told me to say that in Trump way, a huge need for social media marketing, and that's where a lot of his focus has been. Greg, thanks for joining us today. And then we have DJ Shirley with Speak Loud Media. He is a digital marketing and advertising expert with almost a decade of experience creating content delivering measurable results across digital platforms. In other words, he specializes in developing unique content to promote businesses and organizations directly to their target market. What he enjoys most about digital marketing is coming up with entertaining and engaging concepts that come to life across digital screens. DJ, thanks for coming today. And then we're joined today, our first timer, so to speak, is Special Webs Co. We have Mr. Bobby Tillman here today. They will close out the presentation. He is the president of Special Webs since its inception, January of 1996. Very diverse background. He includes electrical engineering at UTA, president of a gospel music company from 1970 to 1984, president of electroacoustics, and now president of Special Webs. Bobby, thanks for joining us today. And then joining him will be James Lockwood. James is a freelance developer with over 4 years of experience with both large and small scale companies. He's been with Special Webs team for about a year and a half. It works with WordPress, Shopify, and the Google suite of tools, social media management as well. James, thanks for coming today. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to bring Greg up to get us started, but I will remind you, in front of you are 10 cards. Those are QR codes. One of those will get you to a survey about this event. We'd love to get your feedback. And then the other one is to register for Social Media 301, which will be in April. So, without further ado, we have to wait. Greg?
Okay, we're having audio difficulty. Good now.
I can hear you fine. Go ahead. Greg Scott.
Thank you, Michael. Let me know if anything happens with that. By the way, this does not count as part of my time. Moving on. Okay, here we go. You know, there's some paper up here. Not my fault. Moving on. How about now? Sorry about that. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for coming. Again, this is not part of my time. Time starts now. All right. Let's have a little icebreaker, I guess. Quick show of hands. Who here kisses on the first date? Nobody? DJ doesn't do it. Nobody, right? Why is that? You want to get to know the person. You go all smooch, right? Same goes for social media. Great about the kissing part. Referring to asking for a sale on social media. All right? No one wants to come in all hot lips for the very first time they see you. All right? So what do to combat that? Well, we need to let our customers, prospects, clients, members, patients, we need to let them know who we are. We need them to get to know us. But how do we do that? With social media. So, there you go. So, how do we do that on social media? Well, I've come up with the 5 W's for content creation on social media, and an H if I have time. Who remembers the 5 W's in writing in grade school? Okay, I got a couple writers. Who, what, when, where, why, sometimes how. Again, if I have time for how. Anyways, I'm going to run through them real quick here with my allotted time, which I have a little bit extra time, just so we're clear. There's handouts on all the desks. I don't know if I printed enough, but you can follow along. But either way, it's for yours to take, and you can follow along or take home for later use, because I will be talking quite fast. If anyone remembers the Micro Machines commercials back in the 80s and 90s, I can't talk that fast, but I'm going to try my best. Anyways, moving on. Who am I creating content for? Is it prospects, so you can turn them into customers, patients, clients, members? Or is it your current followers who at least know who you are? They might not be buyers yet, but they at least know who you are. And in this case, you're either going to turn them into a buyer or turn them into, remind them of your business, excuse me. Now, if you need help finding out who your audience is, if you don't already know who you're selling to, which you probably already have a good idea, if you're already on Facebook and Instagram and you're utilizing the Meta Business Suite, you can find the demographics of your audience. Obviously, it's very, very high level. We're just talking gender, age, and geography, right? So outside of that, Mark and the Zuckerberg bunch aren't really going to give you much more information than that. But this is definitely a great start. So, moving on. Anyways, I'm not going to go into technical of that. Who am I writing content for? How should I write this copy? Do we have any Reddit users in the house? Nope, okay. Is anyone familiar with Eli 5? Explain like I'm 5. That was a difficult topic, you tell me Eli 5. So the thing, dumb it down for you. All right, so whenever you're writing content, when you're writing copywriting content for your social media, again, copywriting is writing for the purpose of selling or advertising your product or services. So whenever I mention copywriting, that's what I'm referring to, not registering your trademark or whatever with the state or the board. Just so we're clear. So how should I write copy whenever I'm writing for social media content? Well, a little twist of the Eli 5 is you want to explain like I'm in 5th grade. All right. So whenever you're writing content for social media, you don't have to sound like you're a professor from Collin College or any other college that exists. You need to keep it short and sweet. Don't use jargon. Write like you're talking to someone. Write like if you're in there talking with someone that comes into your office or you go to see them. Write like you're talking to them. No one wants to feel stupid or confused if you're talking using a bunch of big words that they don't know, right? A confused person is never going to buy, right? So, explain like I'm a 5th grader. Write as if you're at a 5th grade level. And that makes it easier, right? Because you don't have to use a bunch of fancy words that you don't really know in the first place. Whatever, moving on. So, need a little bit of help with that. Well, yeah. Who here knows how to write like a 5th grader off the top of your head? Nobody. Even I don't. So here are 2 free tools that make writing so much easier. First one is the Hemingway app. HemingwayApp.com, free app. Type it in your fancy little laptop there. Write all the content for your social media post, and it'll tell you, of course, it'll fix your grammar, it'll fix spelling, make suggestions, I'll say. It'll make suggestions for your grammar and your spelling, and it'll also detect your readability. So are you writing at a 10th grade level, a 1st grade level? It'll tell you. And anything above a 5th grade level, you want to go through and revise those highlighted words to help bring it down. Again, we're we're just trying to make sales here, right? We're not trying to sound like a rocket scientist. Do we have any rocket scientists in here? I do it. DJ? Every time. What do I write in my post? So things to keep in mind when you're writing. You're solving the problem, right? Whatever it is, they have a problem, you're here to solve it. Any vanilla? Okay, vanilla ice. You're familiar with the KISS method. There are a few different alternatives, but in this case, keep it short and sweet. No one's stupid, okay? No one's stupid. Keep it short and sweet. Now, here's another method I like to follow whenever I'm creating content for my clients. And I try to rotate through these. This is the 3DS method. So I try to rotate posts as much as I can. Posts that either educate, spark an emotion, are entertaining, those are always fun. And then lastly, asking for that sale. Again, you don't want to come out right out of the gate asking for the sale with a big old smoochy smooch. You're going to get a no, or you're going to get a slap in the face. I just realized that's falling off the slide. Awesome. Moving on. What? What do I write in my post? So, focus on the benefits, not the features. All right? So what's the difference? Here's a super simple example. Features are what the product is or has. Benefits are why those features matter. All right? Super simple. We have any umbrella salesmen in here? I get asked a lot of questions. No umbrella salesman? Well, you're in luck if you are. All right, here's features of an umbrella. It's got cloth, got a wooden handle, it's got a metal, structure or whatever. Right? Great, those are great. But what are the benefits of an umbrella? Keeps you dry when it's raining, right? That's what you're selling. You're selling someone dryness when there's a thunderstorm out. Or in the Texas heat in July and August, you're selling them shade, right? You're not selling them, polyfiber cloth top. Who loves that? Nobody. Well, maybe someone. I provided a couple extra examples in the handout here that's on your desk, but I'm already running out of time, so I'm going to move on. That's it. You can refer to your handout. And whether your wheels are already turning or not, you've got some homework. So think of your business, whatever it is, you're selling products, selling services, now or later, but again, if wheels are turning, feel free to jot these down. What are 3 features of your product or service? And then what are 3 benefits of your product or service? Something to keep in mind, because as you're writing content for social, these are what you want to think. Great. Features are great, but features don't sell as well as benefits. When do I post on social media? Also in the handout are popular times for engagement on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I can't go through all of them, I don't have enough time. But man, it's long. As you go through them, you'll start to notice there's a lot of similarities. Middle of the day, right before lunch. People are on social media pretty much all day, but if you're looking for engagement, because engagement feeds the algorithm, which feeds your content to get in front of more people, you want to be posting to get engagement. If you post at 6 a.m., you'll get eyeballs, but you probably won't get many reactions, which is, likes, loves, angry, sads, cares, loves. Comments and shares. People aren't really clicking that early in the morning. Remember, their brains are just waking up. Some people substitute social media for coffee. Who knew? Anyways, so go through for whatever platforms you're on, this is a good foundation to start at whenever you're looking to post on those specific times. A good foundation. Don't hold these to 100% accuracy because depending on what your industry is, could be a little bit different. But it's something to keep in mind. And if you don't feel like looking at all these colored boxes and looking at the best times and the worst times, something to keep in mind. Weekdays typically do better. Think of it as people wake up, people go to lunch, people either picking up kids or that 3 o'clock slump, right? You need an extra shot of, Monster, whatever it is y'all do. And then when they get off work, and possibly around bedtime, right? Finally got the kids to bed, let's see what's going on in the social media world. Let's see what we can get upset about today. Just Where do I post my content? This is obviously a little bit easy, right? You can post natively to whatever social media platforms you're on. Luckily, most of them now actually give you the ability to schedule content, which is perfect for those that are midnight owls that love it, get a writing bug at like 11 o'clock at night. You don't want to post 11 o'clock at night. You'll probably asleep unless you're another night owl. So you can write your content in and schedule it natively in the app, either on your phone or on a desktop, or if you're using a third-party app like Hootsuite, Buffer. I mean, there's tons of them. Later, Plainly, Sendable, the list goes on. But I can tell you that Hootsuite, Buffer, and Later all have free plans. If you just want to dip your toe in the water, you can sign up for their free plans and at least start scheduling through there. Why? Why am I doing this? Why am I posting on the social medias? Well, if you remember my first question about little smoochy smooch, you're trying to educate your prospects. You're trying to build trust with them, right? Who in here kisses people they don't know? Okay, DJ does it this time. He only kisses people he knows. I can't wait for his wife to watch this. Ultimately, we're here to make sales, right? We're here to make sales. But keep in mind, people don't want to be constantly hit with sales. Oh, today's sale, this is this sale, this is this sale, sell this, sell that. People don't want that. People love the genuine, let's just go with genuine. No big words, Greg. Genuine posts, right? I'm sure DJ will speak a lot more to that whenever it comes up because that's what people want to see. I've spent well over an hour creating a single post for a client. Posted, flopped. I go outside, take a photo of their storefront. That's supposed to be a better video. Just like 40 likes, just from the storefront. Obviously, you want a good angle, you want the lighting to be good, but it does so much better than just. So keep that in mind. Don't spend a ton of time on all your content because you never know what's going to be good. And like I mentioned last time, just got to start. Just got to start. All right, I do have a little bit of time so this works out. How do I know how my content is doing? I didn't realize I got 2 hours in there. Sorry, that's time. So check your analytics. All right, you can do this natively in whatever app, social media platform you're using. Go through. It'll show you what kind of reach you're getting, what kind of reactions you're getting, what kind of comments, what kind of shares. Right? If you're reaching at least 10% of your followers, you're actually on par for the algorithm. I know that's not a fun statistic to hear, but it is. If you're reaching roughly 10% of your audience, then you're on par with the algorithm. Now, if you're doing better than that, that's all great, baby. That's a cherry on top. All right? Same thing with likes, comments, reactions, shares. If you're not getting very many, and you're not reaching 10% of your audience, that's that. That's fine. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You got it? No, 8. All right, okay. If you're not getting many likes, reactions, comments, shares, you're not reaching 10% of your followers, try a different day, try a different time. All right? That's part of it. After you've been posting for a few weeks up to a month or so, go back and check those analytics. See what those posts did. And you remember some of the categories I talked about: educating, entertaining, sparking, devotion, sales. Those, see what kind of categories you're doing. Pictures of your storefront, pictures of you, the owner. See how those do. And as you're creating content for the next month, recycle that content. Take a different photo, but you can probably use the same copyright. Tweak the copyright just enough, because it's going to do well. No one remembers what they saw last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. You can recycle that content. So, that is all for me. Thank you so much. I'm Greg Scott with Great Scott Marketing. Have a wonderful day. Up next is the ever talented DJ Shirley. Speak on me. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory. Hey, let's take this. Okay, there it is. All right, great. Yeah, see that a little. Okay, I'm gonna be on this side today. Hello, how's everyone? Good? Awake? Excited? Okay, good. All right, during my time, I'm going to talk about organic versus paid. I'm gonna stay more on the organic side because I'd love for you to be able to get your business out there for as cheap as possible. And obviously organic is free. But as it says up here, the algorithm is not. So as Greg made mention of the algorithm with Facebook and with most social platforms, it is not going to perform in your best interest. So you have to do things that make the algorithm happy to deliver your content to more of your audience. So Greg also mentioned the way your followers, the engagement reach, and how it works with the algorithm. If you have 1,000 followers, do not assume that 1,000 people are going to see the content. If you release a photo or your business hours change or you put an offer out or a special promotion and you're going, why do I only have 6 likes on this? If you look at the analytics on the back end, you'll probably notice that you are less than 10% are actually seeing that post. If you're at 10%, as Greg also mentioned, you're probably doing pretty good organically. You definitely can get that number up. The better engagement you can do your content, more engaging, get your audience to be. But just keep that in mind. No matter how many followers you have on your page, all of those people are not seeing the post that you make. The same way it works with your friends when you post on your personal page. You wonder why sometimes this picture of my cat got 500 likes, and the picture of me going, hey, support my business, got 4, because nobody cares. They like your cat better. That's the real answer. That's the only answer I can give you. They like your cat better, and Facebook algorithm detects those things, and knows that these people are going to react better to this cat than they are about you, this long text of support my business. So keep that in mind. But the real question is, how do I increase organic content? So I'm going to take you down a journey here. There are 4 different posts here. This is also 4 different types of content that could be used to do the same and accomplish the same exact thing. So I made a post that said, you guys should go check out, I'm going to butcher this so y'all know when to make fun of me or tell them. It's Panaderia, okay? All right, Greg, that was really loud. You didn't have to laugh that. You guys should go check it out. They're brand new downtown. It's delicious, right? Just a regular static post. It's just text. It's just there. I took it a step further. Facebook allows you, as a lot of platforms do, is you can spice it up a little bit. You got a colorful background. Think about when you're scrolling your social media. If you see just text, but then you see this directly below, like purple or bright red or bright blue, which one is going to attract your eyes more? Gold color. Your eyes are going to be drawn to that a little quicker than they are in regular text. It's also larger. Bold font, pulls your eyes to it. The next one I put, just a photo. I had a photo from when I actually went and visited them, and I typed the same exact text. Hey, it's really good, you guys should check it out. Here's the name of it, here's what's in it, you'll find it. Lastly, I shot a video when I went down there. I'm not plugging them, they're not a client, just FYI, some of you are thinking I can see it, it's okay. I went down there and shot a video, me walking in, me picking some things out, me talking to them, finding out about their story, and then sharing it. That performed really well. We put no ad dollars behind it. There was nothing done to promote it. We just promoted it to the local community. It reached 12,500 people. We had 3,000 plus engagements, 17 comments, and a lot more in the community pages, and I think almost 60 shares. I'm not saying that video is always the answer. I'm saying that video definitely performs better a lot of the times, but this is also 4 examples of the same content. This is a way that you could use and tie directly back into your business and go, I can create static text, I can utilize colors to draw attention, can post photos from time to time, and then I can do videos. All of them are, I'm doing the same thing through all of this, but it's just doing it in a different way where it appeals differently to my audience first. Better content equals better engagement. Up next, you all will get a copy of this. It'll be all sent out to you in the presentation, but these are, it's on my shirt today. Content. That's what this is. I created just a short, simple list of, these are ideas for, I don't care what industry that you're in, that you can utilize these. You can talk through text, through images, through video, through live videos, tips and how-to about your business, about your industry. A recent quote or maybe a proposal you put out, if you're in insurance, or you are in real estate, or you are in anything, or you provide quotes, or you can talk about, I just recently put this quote out for this customer, heard back that we're saving $500 a year or $5,000 a year, or we were able to do this and saving this much money on air conditioning bills, or whatever it may be. Recent quotes and proposals, completed projects. in progress or behind the scenes. People connect to those. Showing them how the backside of your business works. This works with restaurants. It works with, even I mentioned insurance, but showing how that process works. Here's how you build an insurance book. Here's why these things matter. You can show them behind the scenes. Secrets. It's a huge buzzword, but if you want to talk about, here are the secrets to saving money doing this, or here's the secret to selling your home today, or here's the secrets to buzzword, people can be trackers with memes. I love memes. I love a good meme. Morning, afternoon, evening. I love a good meme. Memes, you can find them anywhere. You literally go to Google, take your industry, add meme at the end, plethora. Got to work that word in, which is awesome. There is a library of memes available for every industry that's out there. You can go grab these things, and they get really good interaction. Really good one. People are going to engage with it. Meet the team, special events, milestones, promotions, humor, and satire, which is often one that's forgotten by a lot of businesses and one of my absolute favorites. Most of my clients, I convince them to do some level of humor or satire when it comes to videos. I make them do some off-the-wall stuff. It's fun, and people engage with it because it takes your business from what people perceive it as, and it adds a personality to it. So do not be afraid to mix in some of these things like memes and humor and satire. I really honestly don't care what your industry is. I think that you can just different forms of media or different media forms equal better engagement. I'm trying to watch time, we're good. Different media forms equal better engagement. So there's the same photo I showed earlier that I took, just a snapshot that I took. I mentioned in our last presentation, and I'll mention it today, is there's an app or program called Canva. Canva is a great program to be able to create things very quickly and on the fly. I would 100% recommend getting the premium version. It's like $9 a month, or maybe it's 20. I don't know, it's worth it either way. It saves you a lot of time. I use it for some of my clients when it's something I don't need to go into Photoshop and build from scratch. It's just something you need to get up, post it very quickly. It's for a quick sale, something last minute, it'll be very quickly. This probably took me maybe 10 minutes. And several minutes of that were me going and finding a logo because I didn't have it. So I'd go to Facebook and save it and kill the background. That was more time than anything. But I created this, like, which one looks better? Just if I threw the picture out there, or this flyer-looking presentation that says authentic, now downtown Wylie, come taste it. I mean, it's just stuff I threw on there. Taking it a step further, and I'm really excited for next month's Lunch and Learn as well, because we're going to have someone talking about specifically Facebook Live and how they can be able to utilize Facebook Live in their business, not just a marketer or guy like me up there talking and saying, here's what you should do. But this is a person with actually utilizing business at Facebook Live. All of those ideas that I just talked about on the previous page, tips and tricks, previous quotes, jobs in progress, all those things, you can create that on Facebook Live as well. You can create a video. Think about it, a lot of it is repurposing content as well, as Greg mentioned. Is that you can take here's a video we're creating, this is our Meet the Team video. It's me, there's a staff member, hi, my name's Johnny, and I like pizza, and I got a goldfish named Bob. Hi, that's one video, and then you got another person saying, hi, my name is this, I'm doing this long, but then you turn it back around a month later, 3 months later, 2 months later, and do a Facebook Live, like, hey guys, I just wanted to do a Facebook Live real quick and introduce you to our entire team. And here's this person, and here's that person. How long have you been doing this? You turn it in there, you stop. You take the same content, the same ideas, and repurpose them over and over and over. You can take that same video, screenshot off your phone, and you have a picture of Bob talking about the goldfish, and you just turn that into a post, it's the image. Like, hey, check out our videos we caught this week. Bob's talking about the goldfish again. But you have that content you're able to reuse. So a lot of times it's not wasting time or overthinking situations. It's just like, here's my ideas, the lane, which is the page I had on there before, the tips, trick, quotes, recent proposals, all those things. And then, what's the content around that? Well, I can take a photo and post that. I can also create a video. I can go live on Facebook, or I can post it to Instagram. I can do it anywhere. But you're able to take that same content and kind of repurpose it over and over and over. You don't create it. I also have a video in one too, because I'm just big on video. So I think absolutely integrating all of these things, different types of media, will increase your engagement. If all you're doing is posting on your page, very big mission. 2, all you're doing is saying, hey, come buy my stuff. Hey, my stuff's on sale again. Hey, if that's all you're doing, people get bored. People don't engage with that. The algorithm doesn't like that. The algorithm sits back and goes, here's this guy again with a sale. Here's this person again telling us to come. Of course you're going to tell them to shop. If you can flip that around and create engaging content where you can give people a reason to follow you and like you and interact with you, if you can build a relationship with them, great mention of that, you can't keep that and have that person that now is following you and engaging with your content that one day you're going to say the right thing. One day you're going to put the right piece of content out, the right information, the right video, where you're going to go. I've been needing to do that. Or I've been looking for a CPA, or I've been trying to get that person from. This is about what I'm following them now. It's all because of me and mean that person. That's what to keep in mind. Next, contests and giveaways. Some people will say, don't do this. I'm a fan of it in the right instance. I'm not saying go buy 800 or 1,000 Cowboy tickets unless you're working with me. I'll take them. But if you're wanting to do a simple concept, I put Texas Rangers up there because they're one of the cheapest sport tickets to go and buy. You go spend $40 on a couple of Texas Ranger tickets, and you can run a promotion on your page that you can turn on and share in the community groups, which we'll talk about quickly here in a second, and say, hey, I put the up there, I like taking tags, what I like to call it, is that you say, hey, take a picture out front of our office, or take a picture of you with some product that you bought from us. Take a picture of you in downtown Wylie and tag us in this. We have to follow our page because we're going to announce the winner on Facebook Live in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Some people want to put a link into it. But you can do that to where you can grow your Facebook following, Instagram following that way. Contests are really, really big in a lot of spaces. We'll run these little simple promotions to get followers. And I'm not saying you're changing it. I'm not saying buy followers per se. I'm saying you're only putting this out there to the local community. That anyone that's going to follow your page is going to be someone that is within your target audience, ideally. So it's just a side, not the main strategy. It's just a side. Expanding organic content. This is the big question usually. It's like, okay, I'm posting, I'm mixing it up, I'm putting photos, I'm doing videos, we're doing live, things like that. But how do I get it out there to the community? How do I get more people to actually see it outside of doing a Texas Ranger tickets to get the follow page? You can share it in any community groups. Raise your hand if you are in any of the Wylie, Texas community pages. Wylie, Texas Gone Wild, Wide Awake Wylie, all those. That's a blast. Yeah, they're a lot of fun most days. It's a joke. But you can share it in those community pages, but I said carefully because I would be very sparing with how you share it and what you're sharing. Again, if you're always sharing, buy my stuff, it's on sale. It gets annoying, and a lot of those pages won't allow it, a lot of pages will red flag you, you'll get kicked out, a lot of those, it's gonna happen. But if you approach it from where you're doing some of these content ideas, tips and tricks and secrets that kind of save money doing this, depending on what industry you're in, you can do these things, and you can post them in there. Also, you can take it, turn around, share it to your personal page, then you go share it in community groups. Don't ideally share it from your business page. And the reason I say this is because that is immediately flagged as an advertisement. But if you are sharing it, some people may not know you are a client of that person or you are recommending them. Also, let's calm down, ask your staff, or friends and family members to go share it in some community pages. Have them share on their personal pages too. This is how you can take a simple post, you go to your business page and you say, here's this tips and tricks about my industry. Here's how to save money, or here's how to buy this, here's how to do that. And you turn around, put it on your personal page, that's already expanding your organic reach. You ask your friends and family and or staff members to share it to their personal pages, that's now expanding the reach even more. And then one or two of you or all of you go and share in different community pages. That is how the video I showed you that reached 13,000 people, that's how it was done. So we shot that video, we shared it in community pages. Again, it was not advertisement. If the business would have tried to share the video, it probably wouldn't fly. But because they did it from an outside perspective, it didn't fly. And it got reached a lot of people. And they flooded the business, which was super cool to see where the business happened. So cross-marketing with other businesses is just pretty simple. If you have businesses around you, wherever your business is, or people that you engage with, if you're in real estate and you've got a broker or someone you work with on a regular basis, engaging with them and making content with them where you're able to tag each other in each other's businesses, it's another way to be able to generate easy organic content. Yeah, I got page felt there. This is spending money. And not everybody likes to spend money, but if you want to know how you do it very quickly, because I got 2 minutes left, is you can spend money on Facebook to grow your Facebook following. You can specifically spend money and grow your page to have people like and follow your page. Texas Ranger ticket promotion. You want that thing to really go wide, you can promote it to the local community and spend money behind it to get people to go into that contest. You can also have them like and follow your page. Video use is another way you can spend money. You want people to watch your video, you want to make sure people watch your video, you pay for it. Engagement, you can pay for likes, shares, and comments on your posts. What I would recommend is use specific targeting. Don't click that boost post button. Go into the backside of Facebook, business.facebook.com, go to the ads manager, build your ads there if you're going to dial ads. don't click the boost post button unless you just want to set $50 on the table, just light it on fire. Ideally, you lose a lot of features that Facebook has available, you lose a lot of targeting, you're just blankly targeting, and it's just not good. Don't waste your money. Go in the back, go to the app. Paid promotion campaigns, and this is the last thing I'm going to give you very, very quickly. This is your, what we call a funnel, if you're familiar with that term, but this is, Greg made mention of dating and not kissing on the first date, things like that. This is it. Top level of a paid promotion is a reach and awareness campaign. These are specifically what Facebook calls them. A reach and awareness campaign is you saying, I need people to know about my business. I want to put some information out there. You put a reach and awareness campaign out there, you put a particular budget behind it, and you say, tell people about my business that are in this area, that are this demographic, this age, this male, female, 28 to 35, and live in Wylie, Texas, plus 15 miles. And I want them to know about my business. You start just putting that, that could be any piece of content. It could be a video, it could be a landing page, it could be a website, it could be ideally behind your doing reach and awareness. Next, you retarget that same audience. You build an audience by doing the top level reach and awareness. You retarget them now with a traffic and or video campaign. Now we're on the second date with these folks. They saw us originally, now we're retargeting those same people. Now they're gonna know us a little bit more. They're like, man, it's one of those things when you're on there and you go, I keep seeing these guys. Like, why do I keep seeing this thing pop up? Because we're wizards, we know how to do that. But that's exactly what you're doing, is you're warming up that audience, and then you go to the bottom level, the final level, of people have now seen your content twice, and you're hitting them with that, here is my offer, here is my sale, here is my promotion. Submit your information for this free guide. All these things that all of us have probably seen on Facebook, that is the bottom level, and you're probably more inclined to do it because you've already seen that person 2 or 3 different times. We don't have time to play my game, so what we're going to do is Greg, what did I say earlier? 3? First, speakloudmedia.com/free. The first 3 people that go there, it's a short little thing. You put your information in there. I'm going to personally send you some content ideas about your business. That is what I specialize in, is coming up with unique ways to advertise businesses. So I'm doing it as a freebie that I will email you back a few free ideas of what I would do to promote your business, whether that be videos, content, graphics, and that I'll send it back to you. speakloudmedia.com/free, but I can't do it for everybody because still gotta keep yourself free all the time. But y'all get it. But if y'all want to go check that out, feel free to do that. And that is that's it for me. There's that. Next up, I'd like to introduce James. Hi, James. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know James' last name, so I'm just gonna say James. Bobby's perfect. All your excited.
I'm just curious, I told other people that I can't have, you mentioned the 50, the don't kiss on your first date. I've been 51 married for 20 years, I've been dated 5 before that. I would say I'm an old guy, but I think it really depends on who that first date is with. But anyway, we've been doing web stuff for a long time. We've got a good brochure there, we do video production work, it really is good. All social media is amazing how it works. So when I started in like 20 years ago, all this stuff didn't exist. It's amazing to watch how it's proliferated marketing and everything. James is a specialist in the social media. I actually was introduced to some of the social media marketing by our esteemed colleague, Mr. Greg Scott. When I was president of the historic site, we brought in the we brought in the Vietnam Wall Memorial, and so we talked a little bit about how we do some marketing for it. And I was introduced to that to see how amazingly it worked. So to do a social media program, one of the things that we do is how can you tell how effectively that is working and what you might do to clean it up a little bit. That's what James is going to do for us. James Lockwood.
So, we're going to talk a little about Google business, Google Analytics, and SEO. What are Google My Business and Google Analytics? We're kind of keep these together because they're kind of the same, or they're the same little house sort of kind of. Alright, so what is Google My Business? So Google My Business is a free, multi-featured business listing. Local businesses, large and small, use it. It's a place where you can put all your information about your company. Free to use, free to personalize. There's lots of different features that it offers. Kind of think about it of like old school Yelp pages or like a Yelp but now it's all digital. It has all the information out there for you. It goes far and beyond just simple listing. It's also leading over into SEO and being found locally and just you name it. It's been changing a lot over the years. Another big word that people hear is SERP, and SERP is is what you when you search for on Google or different browsers. It's the SERP result is what that's called. So all the information that comes out, you're found first there hopefully, and that's what helps to be found there. So. With Google My Business, these are some key things to think about. It's helps you easily connect with customers. It's a place that everybody uses. Everybody's got their phone on them all the time. So what do you want to do for dinner tonight? You know, bam, that restaurant there, that looks good. It shows what you offer. One nice thing about it is you can create posts. You can create content. You can talk about what you have in your business. You can make claims, you can be personal, you can manage your business there. So it's a really good place to just talk about yourself and just be real. It's also free. So all you need to do is get verified. It's a simple step process. You just mail out, you put your information in, you get a postcard back in, and you're verified. You're good to go. You can do all kinds of things with that. Some vocabulary to go with it. So SERP, that has to do with your search results. Google Maps, Google My Business connects with Google Maps. So when you're found on normal search, you're also found within Google Maps as well. One thing that's really nice about this is it's a great place to put reviews. So you can do an offer, hey, 50% off your next visit if you put a review out there for me. You can follow users, you can see the behavior of people, and how they're finding your business online. You can set goals and things like that as well. Here's an example of what Google Maps looks like. A little bit small, but we have the service area is all of Texas on the map. Has hours of operations, has a website, has a phone number, and it has some pictures, but you can put other things in there, put your services in there. But things that you offer in there, you might post and things like that. And on the right side, this is an example of a search result of the Google My Business. It has the same information all over there. It's nice and easy for people to find, and it helps you to stand out on your results. All right, so what is Google Analytics? It'll be short, sweet, to the point, not go too far into depth with that. But Google Analytics is basically, it's a free tool that you can utilize that will tell you information about your website. If you have an app, it'll tell you information about that as well. But it basically will give you feedback, like what are users doing in your site? Where are they going? What are they clicking on? How long are they staying there? What's the bounce rate like? All that information. All you need to do to use this is gives you a 3-line of code. You drop it in your website, and it's good to go after that. Some things to think about it is it will help you to build a complete picture of your website. It helps you to figure out what your user experience is like. It tells you where the people are going to, what they're interacting with. It gives you really good information. It will give you probably 20 or 30 different sets of analytics that you can look at, you can utilize, especially if you're getting a lot of traffic to your site. It'll tell you when's a busy time, when's a slow time, when are people not engaging with your site. You can print out reports. Say you have a large team, you have someone in charge of marketing. You want to know, what is the geographic of my company. Well, they're here in Dallas area, whether they're in Austin or San Antonio, wherever. You find all that information with this. It's really great because you can use it to make your data work for you, which really it's all about improving your customer experience and the user experience there. Some things that go along with this, vocabulary-wise, is events. So an event can be anything like a page view. It could be a button click, it can be like a sign up form, whatever it might be. It does give you actually almost real-time results. You can see people clicking through your website, how many people are on my site right now. It gives you user behavior, and it'll show you, I started here on the homepage, I went to the about page, I asked a question, or I looked at FAQs. Gives you all that kind of information. It's really cool. Here's an example of some of the graphs. You have an active users graph. You have information about users in real time. Talks about bounce rate. That's important when you think about content on your site, because that is how if someone comes to your website and they don't interact with your site, they trigger no events and they just bounce off. That's a bounce rate. Well, you want to have a better bounce rate. The goal is usually 40 or less on that. And then also you can find out what kind of people are coming to my site. We have desktop, mobile, and tablet views, and you can find out what your demographic is like that. So it's really good information there. Alright, so a little bit about what SEO is. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at this, but I'm going to say that I know how to fill in the boxes. At the end of the day, it's can you fill the boxes in? Can you give people information about your page? What is the title? What is the description of this page? What is in this picture? There's so many different things involved in it, and the work that you put into it, you're not going to see immediately. It's going to take a week or two. It's going to take a month or so. But putting that information in there, it gets found. When people search for stuff online, they search for what am I going to do for dinner tonight? Well, if you have a restaurant website and you're talking about, this is our dinner special, your website might get found faster. So think about when you're doing your descriptions and titles in terms of what does a user want to do and experience when they're on their website. Here's some quick information about content marketing and SEO. So think about when you're putting content out into your site, think about creating like lists. So the top 5 things to improve my websites for. Think about infographics. People like using visual pieces. Think about your social media. That's also SEO. It's links to and from your website. Think about what tools you're using. There's lots of different tools out there. Okay. There's lots of different tools that you can utilize that are free that will help you out to build your SEO. Things to avoid. You don't want to keyword stuff. What does that mean exactly? That's basically like saying metal table, holding something, desk, whatever, about keyword stuffing is saying too much about the same item, that topic, and not being genuine. Being back to that genuine person and being something that will answer a question for somebody. So you want to make sure you're answering that question for your users. Try not to mention your brand too much. You want to be as real as possible. You want to not be salesy. You want to try to avoid the buying links, but try to be more so. These are, trying this out will help improve your service. And share links with me when you're sharing them with other folks. So some trends to follow for 2022 for SEO. You want to focus on the user's experience. It's really important. That's really what Google is doing now, pushing more towards that. What is your user experiencing? How are they interacting with your site? How are you helping them? We want to look at the search intent conversion. So making sure that you have answers to questions, long tail descriptions, and things that will answer people's questions and provide them whatever they're trying to find. We want to look at page experience. So if your website loads really slowly, That's maybe not a great experience. If there's a lot of text in there, sometimes that can be kind of hard to read. So make sure it's something that's pleasant and nice to see people. Using your analytics, you want to make sure you adapt quickly. You know, if you see something that's not working, you actually visibly see it, then make those changes, pivot, and improve it. Making sure you have good content depth. So starting out with a teaser at the very beginning of the site, of the page, and then working down into the meat of it, and then having a good solution down at the bottom, making sure that your content that you create is good. Things like internal linking, that has to do with when you're on a website or like an e-commerce store, they say, oh, you buy this product, well, these are some other products that are similar to what you're buying, and it links to those products, so that's kind of an example of that. Automation. If you can automate things, it's definitely a positive thing, it helps out time. Location search, being that person in your local community will help you be found there, but then the more you grow at that, you'll also be found in other places as well. And you'll be creative. Being creative, being fun, being real. Some useful links, Google My Business and Google Analytics. Both are free, both easy to check out, and easy to start with. Q&A.
Hello. We're the Q&A panel. Any questions you have? I think we have, I don't know, we have, Tina's already up here, does that mean we're done? You're already up here, does that mean we're done?
No.
Oh, okay, so we've got some time. Any questions? Okay, so for the Zoom, I'll repeat the question so that way we can catch it on Zoom. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to ask about the Google My Business, and when you first do that, you pretty much don't show up at all. And
Right.
with that, is it just by gaining reviews, or how do you? Because once I did it, I got phone call after phone call after phone call from all these people trying to get us to pay for Google. So is it just more building reviews to help kind of bump yourself up?
Yeah, so for that, you want to make sure you have some good content in it. Make sure you have good pictures. Make sure you have all your information filled out. Create things like posts that, hey, I have a service that put yourself, your next video or whatever. Putting those out there and being found with that will help you be found. I actually have a couple clients that I'm working with who have kind of experienced that same problem. And the answer that I'm getting from Google is also that there's a lot going on right now with COVID. And yeah, I've actually been on the phone with Google. That's what they tell me. But putting more content out there is going to help you be found. I will say that on the Google Map side of things, our information is being found there, it's being displayed there, but the search result is kind of taking a little longer to show right now for some people.
Yeah, so just like all social media, it takes time. Thank you for that.
I had a follow-up question.
Yes, ma'am, follow-up question.
So the chamber helped me kind of set up a Google business about a year ago. And I haven't really done anything with it since. So how often, but I do remember he goes around and telling me, you need to occasionally be adding pictures, new pictures, and I've done nothing. So how often should I be doing that kind of thing to keep it?
So the question is, how often should you update your Google My Business? I'll tell you that for what I do for a lot of my clients is almost bi-weekly, every couple of weeks, a couple of times a month, I'll go in and add 5 or 6 pictures and add a post because the post expires after 7 days. So, it's up for 7 days and it comes down. So I'll jump back in another week later, add some more photos and add a post in there as well. So at the very least, I would say a couple of weeks. Yeah, would be better. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was to say content.
Yeah. If you have updates and things of that nature, it's good to always keep people up to date, so I'm out there.
Yeah, and the great thing is you can do it with your phone. I mean, you know, there's a Google My Business app on your phone. You can do it just as quick as that. So if you've got photos that you've been accumulating in your phone, you can just throw those up there quickly. You don't have to be on the computer. You can do it while you're waiting at the dentist office. But whatever. Thank you. Yes.
How much,
Okay.
how much is too much?
How much is too much? I'd love to see it. See what you got.
There's no such thing as too much. It's good. The more content you put out, better. And then when you're putting it out there, you want to make sure that you're interacting with whatever responses you're getting. That's going to help you out a lot also.
So I would say, like, even in my own personal business, like a goal of 1 post a day is tough to get to. So if you could at least get 1 post a day, you're doing pretty good. If you're able to put multiple posts up a day, great. However, you might notice they can start to fight each other. Essentially, if you put up 4 posts in a single day within a few hours of each other, you might notice that one's going to do better than the others, which is great. But then it's like, okay, well, I spent time doing these other 3 or 4 posts, and they're just kind of falling by the wayside. So you kind of want to space them out. Again, depending on the platform, you know, a tweet dies out after like 4 or 6 hours. Facebook, you've got about a half a day to a day. Instagram, about the same. So it's depends on the platform and how much time you've got and how frustrated you're going to get. Thank you. Yes, your friend over there.
You spoke about analytics on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you also spoke about Google Analytics. If you wanted to pull up that kind of information on just your website, not on your Facebook or something page, what would you recommend? What tools would you recommend other than Google Analytics?
SEMrush, Moz. Well, SEMrush gives you a free feature. Your first website's free. And then I think you pay. But Moz, I don't know if Moz does that anymore. It used to. Or Uber Suggest is another good one. It's free to use.
Yeah, so to that point, I've run into Google Analytics is free. You can go into the Google Analytics website and see it, and it's free. Whenever you start running into other tools, that's when costs are associated, which isn't a big deal unless you're on a super tight budget. I personally use DashThis because it allows me to integrate all of my social media and website analytics. Again, it costs money. I think it's like $150 a month, but it gives me that dashboard. I haven't been able to use SEMrush or Moz, but I know they're very popular. So,
If you,
No, I'm so good up. You guys are doing phenomenal.
thank you.
so you said the Google Analytics one, you said there's a section of code that you drop into your website. The tool that I used to build my website was like a drag and drop images and put text here kind of thing. There was nowhere to put code in. Is that, can I not use Google Analytics, or is it hidden somewhere I need to find it?
It might be hidden somewhere. Like things like Wix and Squarespace, they have a section in your admissions area where you can put that in there and it asks for that.
Okay.
One quick easy way, I don't know what website platform you use or drag and drop, but a lot of them, like you said, Wix is a really popular one. And there are ways that you can add alt text and SEO features to that. The easiest thing for you to do, you probably would be around to find it. YouTube's your best friend. You can go over to YouTube and you can say, Wix, how to add SEO. Like there's going to be a 15 or 18 minute video from some dude that spent all night with multiple days to figure it out. And then now you don't have to use follow
How long of a video clip is too long? What's the optimum length of video clip if you're going to do a video on?
Why would it be? See? Okay. It depends. It really depends on where you're putting it, what the purpose of it is, certain platforms and certain features on certain platforms. So you take your Facebook newsfeed versus say a Facebook story or an Instagram reel. All those have different timeline requirements. Anything over 60 seconds is not going to go in certain places. You can't put it in real stories. You can't put it in stories in different places. But also you have advantages. If you stay under 60 seconds on Facebook on your feed, it automatically plays. If you've ever been scrolling the feed and you just see that video start playing, it's under 60 seconds. If you have to click play, it's over 60 seconds. I recommend trying to keep things under 60 seconds, but I have a lot of videos that we've created that are 2-3 minutes long. It just really depends on the information that's in the video, what you're portraying, how educational and how engaging it's going to be. People will watch longer form content, it just has to be engaging. It has to answer a question or solve a problem. People will watch, I mentioned an 18-minute video on YouTube. I've watched those before to figure out how to do something. So if it's entertaining or answering a question or solving problems, and yes. Ideally though, 60 seconds to 90, I would say, is a good rule of thumb, unless again, it's just very engaging or solving a problem or walking someone through a how to.
Mike, would you like to check the Zoom and see if you have any questions on the Zoom?
Craig, I'm checking the Zoom and they're very quiet right now.
Thank you, Michael.
None yet.
Any other questions? Yes, Tina, do you have a question? Nope.
I have a question. I know on the Facebook business page, you can look at the analytics. Can you do that on a personal page?
They keep it pretty simple, and that's part of that's the same thing with Instagram too. You've got a personal profile and a business profile. The business profile gives you those analytics and the ability to run ads. So, yeah. Anything else? Awesome. So, thank you so much for coming. Did you have any questions on that? No. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'll be sticking around afterwards if you want to have any questions you don't want to ask in front of the class. And I believe our esteemed, she's president? Sure. President. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for giving us lots of information. I don't know if you're like me, your head's kind of spinning and thinking about all of this information. You want to go back and get on your keyboard and start working on some of the things that was presented. So we very much appreciate our presenters, and we appreciate you all being here as well. In the next couple of weeks, we have a chamber luncheon coming up next Tuesday, and you can go out to the chamber website and register. And then also, these presentations, our Lunch and Learn, will be on the third Wednesday of every month, and we have some, there's a little placard on each one of your tables, and on there is a QR code. You can go ahead and register for the next session, which will be in April. And then you can also click on the survey. It's a really short survey. So